Hey everybody, Stuart McAdam here, and thanks very much for tuning in today. Now, it's been a while since I've done a YouTube video, and naturally, you've probably been wondering where I am. So, just to give you an update on that, I've gotten quite busy with a lot of client work recently. So, that means, unfortunately, I've actually had to sort of spend most of my time working in the Facebook Ads Manager rather than making videos. But fear not, we're going to carry on with the tutorial videos. We've got plenty more great content coming up this year. So do stay tuned and don't forget to smash that subscribe button because more videos will be coming out. And we'll be looking at a couple of the big problems and issues that a lot of people that are running Facebook ads right now are facing and how they can be addressed. So today's video is going to be answering questions that Hannah brought up in the last video. And to just give you a quick summary, if you haven't seen the video, the questions were, how do I make an ad? How much money do I need if I wanted to do Facebook ads for a year? Is Facebook ads a full-time job? What is the least amount of time a week I would have to spend on Facebook ads? How do I get people to click on my ad? And what are conversions? So those are all some really great questions and definitely ones that do get asked quite a lot by people that are beginners to Facebook ads or, are looking at using Facebook ads for their business and are maybe unsure about what the ins and outs of it are. So definitely very good questions. And before I get on to answering them, don't forget, you can always just leave a question below in the comments section. There's so many videos every year that I sort of take the time to answer the questions which people put forward, whether it's on LinkedIn or YouTube or Facebook, about how to use Facebook advertising and Facebook marketing properly. So if you do have any questions, just leave them in the comments section below. Always good to continue the discussion once the video is ended. So let's answer the questions right now then, one by one. How do I make an ad? Well, the place that you would make an ad would be in your Facebook Ads Manager. You would click a green button in the Ads Manager, which is just create. You would set up what is known as a campaign, which would be your overall structure of what you're trying to achieve, which could be getting people to visit your website. It could be to get lead generation going. It could be to get people to engage with your post. There's a whole range of different options right there. And once you've done that, you go to ad set level and you set up your audience, your targeting, and you identify what those people may be interested in. And if you're going for something which is around remarketing, you'd probably target people who may have watched a good portion of your video or visited a landing page on your website and seen what you have got to offer. And then once you go sort of to the next level, it actually comes to creating the ad itself. That's where you would go in and you would start looking at your ad creatives. You would have a look at your image selection. You'd have a look at your headline text, and you'd also have a look at the description underneath the headline as well, in addition to looking at the formatting of the ad itself. So that's sort of like the basic look at how you do the ads. There is a little bit more detail as to how you do it properly, but we're not going to focus on that now. This is just a simple question. How do I make an ad? You start with creating a campaign. You create an ad set which targets people based on their location, interests, and also demographics. And then you look to the actual ad itself, which is having an image, having body copy text, your main text which people see when they click on the ad, and maybe you want to see more. And also the headline text, which is at the bottom of an ad, and the description as well. So it's really just having those things in place. Doesn't take too much time, but to do it right, it does take a bit of time. So that comes up to the next question. How much money do I need if I wanted to do ads for a year? Well, great question. If you are running ads, it's probably worth your while having a budget of at least $10 a day if you're looking to get people to visit your website and take a particular action. If you're looking to get people to just engage with your posts, look, you can run a budget as small as I believe it's $2 a day at the moment. It could possibly be $1 if you're really smart and cunning about it, setting a lifetime budget at a certain level. But from what I can gather right now, Facebook's minimum ad budget is about $1.50 a day. So, if you really want to, if you're really sort of on a tight budget and you just wanted to kind of slowly trial things out and just get engagement for your post or something like that, then you can start on about $200 a day. And that would be what, $730 a year if you ran ads every day for a year. If you're wanting to get something a little bit more complex and a little bit more advanced, you probably need to be looking at having a budget of at least $10,000 to $15,000 a year. If you're looking to get people to purchase your e-commerce products, if you're looking to really generate some good return on ad spend, $10,000 to $15,000 is probably more where you'd want to be looking. So one of the other things Hannah said as well is, would $1 a day, would it be $10 a day or $1,000 a day? A lot of companies really go to certain levels. So some like to operate at the level where they're going on $1 a day, and then some look at going all the way up to 1,000, possibly more a day. Some of the top e-commerce companies and the top Facebook advertisers are easily advertising with more than $2,000, $3,000 a day and running some very complex and complicated split tests in order to really gauge what the audience size looks like. So next question that Hannah had was, is Facebook ads a full-time job? She said she has a hard time understanding how long it takes. Well, to give you a bit of an overview, if you're setting up a simple campaign, which is one campaign, one ad set, and one ad, you could probably get a campaign up and running in about half an hour. If you had like very simple written copy, very simple targeting, and just a traffic campaign that sends people to a certain page on the website, you can do it in about half an hour. But you're not always going to enjoy the same level of success with an ad that's set up reasonably simply unless you really know what you're doing and you've got it dialed down to a T. So the challenge with this is a lot of people are running multiple campaigns. And if you're working at a digital marketing agency or you're working at a company, yes, sometimes Facebook ads is a full-time job. You could be running up to 8 or 9 client campaigns, possibly even more than that. And that all requires you to look at the optimization of the ads that are already running. It requires you to come up with new ad creatives so that your ads aren't suffering from ad fatigue. And it also means as well that you have to be looking at how you can stand out from the competition and actually address those common problem points which the target customers in the market has. Hannah says Stuart spends a lot of time working on Facebook ads, but he spends even more time thinking about it and writing stuff down on paper. And that's true as well. You've got to be able to identify every possible objection point that your target customer is going to have, and you're going to have to be able to address it in a way that target customer can understand and believe in you enough and your product and the solution that you're offering to take action further and work with you. So a big part of that does come down to the planning. It's about having a piece of paper, writing down your proposed ad structure and campaign, and building that out there. Then you look at the possible objection points and the solutions that you provide for it. And then you look at writing the ad copy, coming up with catchy, creative headlines that people, and looking at the body text, which people will likely see on their mobile, which is only about 1 or 2 sentences, and looking at how you can attract their attention initially. Because if you can attract their attention initially, your chances of converting them are a lot better. And that planning stage in itself is probably one of the bigger parts of it. Once you've got the campaign up and running, it's just a case of constant ongoing optimization, having a look at what the market's responding to and coming up with new ad creatives and messaging that meets that demand. So next question is, what is the least amount of time a week I would have to spend on Facebook ads? You can set ads up on autopilot. If you are running what is known as an evergreen funnel, which is basically one that isn't subject to only running for a period of time like Black Friday or over a holiday period, you can set up a campaign which has cold outreach. So let's say, for example, you are doing what the YouTube guru himself, John Penberthy, is doing, selling online coaching and training for digital marketing services. And you are going after people that are interested in marketing, maybe small business owners. That's his sole target market around the world. And he would have an automation that's set up which would read cold traffic, and that would start with going after people who are just small business owners, and there might be, let's say, 2 million people in their target market. And then you would set up the next stage, which would be taking them to a landing page where you look to get them to watch your webinar. And then you set up a retargeting ad set on top of that. So you have your campaign, which is, small business owners. You have 2 ad sets right now. You have the cold traffic, which is the first one we just talked about for small business owners. And then you have your second one, which is people who have visited the landing page and not watched the webinar. So you're retargeting them and talking about the common pain points or skepticism which the people may have about that. And then you would look at, okay, what about if people did watch the webinar? Then you would have a new ad sets in that campaign as well. So you would now have 3 ad sets going after cold traffic, so people that haven't heard about you before, that are small business owners, people that visited the landing page but didn't watch the webinar, and then you got people that watched the webinar but maybe didn't purchase the course afterwards. So it's going after those people. And maybe with that, you could provide a little sneak peek about what your course covers. You could have a look at things which talk about the sort of benefits of advertising, in his instance on YouTube, or just running webinars. And then you could look at just going after those people for up to a period of 90 days, after which they would fall out of the retargeting program. So effectively, you've got Facebook ads that are running on autopilot. You've got one audience that you're reaching out to all the time that's cold, and you just exclude anyone that's visited the landing page. You have another audience that is looked at the landing page but hasn't watched the webinar or signed up to it. You've got the next one that's watched the webinar but hasn't taken further action. And you can basically have that running on autopilot all the time. And all you would need to do to sort of have people that have purchased and fall out of the funnel is just say, exclude anyone that has already purchased the course as a custom conversion. So then that way, if you are looking at running this training, it's basically a case of setting all of that up. And then you really just have to slowly go to the campaign and optimize it here and there, a couple of hours a week. And that will give you enough time to restructure and reformat your ads so that you have got a good thing going. And you don't have to spend more than an hour or 2 a week actually optimizing it. Because once you get those learnings and that data and information that comes in on what ads are working best and what messaging people are resonating with the most, you're in a very good position. So that's a really good question, actually. What's the least amount of time a week I'd have to spend on Facebook ads? So initially, you'd probably need to spend about 20 to 40 hours to really get a campaign pumping and going and planned. And then after that, if you've got your messaging dialed down to a T, your target audience, you could spend like 1 or 2 hours a week. So less than 20 minutes a day if you've really got a good thing going on your campaign. So next question is, how do I get people to click on my ad? That's a good question, and it actually has a very simple answer, and that is, think like a customer. If you're in your customer's shoes, say you are offering a tour experience. I'll use my client Doughboats, for example. They provide a cool experience in a donut-shaped boat where people can ride along Lake Taupo. And basically the benefits of that is, in the current climate, with COVID still being quite a, very real thing at this point in time in the world, and even in New Zealand, which has mostly managed to contain it, it provides a good experience for people to have kind of like a bubble experience where people within their own family or sort of flat community can go and experience a really cool tourist activity. You can talk about how people can bring their own snacks on board, their own drinks. They can even bring their own music. There's like a Bluetooth speaker on each of the boats, just up at the top of the ceiling. And that is a really cool and unique thing. And you can just cruise along the lake. There's magnificent sweeping views of the mountains in the background. You look to the left, there's the Taupo City. It's just very beautiful and very incredible. And then as you're going along the lake, you can see all the views around you. So overall, it's a very cool experience. And you need to think about those kinds of messages, all the things that I just mentioned now. Probably the latter things, maybe just not the COVID thing, because you could run into a bit of trouble with that on Facebook. But talking about the experience of being able to take your own snacks and drinks, enjoy beautiful views, family fun, family friendly, life jackets for infants, and have a video that can show that awesome experience for people as well, or a carousel of images that has people really enjoying themselves. Because the biggest thing people have when they take action and click on an ad is that they've got some level of curiosity, they want to find out more, or they want to experience what you've just shown them. So that's the best way to do it. There is no magic formula to it. Having nice pictures and videos goes a very long way. Something that's a little engaging and a little catchy is going to help you out big time. And with that, it comes down to the last question now, which is, what are conversions? So people talk about conversions all the time. Basically, it's just a measuring tool that a company uses to generate performance metrics around a particular action that a lead or a customer takes. So they could download an ebook, they could book a phone call, they could click on the call us button, they could go to the landing page and sign up to the webinar, they could make a sale, they could make a purchase, and you get a sale from a particular landing page or e-commerce shop. So that's what a conversion is. It's nice and easy, simple to understand, and it's really just varies on what exactly the ultimate goal is. It may even be a subscription that people have. So that's just a couple of things that, a couple of the questions which Hannah had today. Thank you so much, everyone, as well. Got Stuart Gould on there. Hi, you're the best. Facts tell, stories sell. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more with you there. If you've got good stories that you can share, good experiences that people have enjoyed about that, having good testimonials, that's a big one that's going to get people's attention, particularly if you're selling a more high-ticket offer, getting people to click on your ad, especially those who already are in the marketing industry and niche. I mean, I get served with ads all the time from different agencies and gurus and people that have run these 6, 7-figure, 8-figure marketing companies. And a lot of the things that I'm now being shown are testimonials. And that's probably because I'm more likely to resonate with a testimonial, see the story that someone else has told, to experience the great breakthrough which their marketing agency needed. And using that formula and that blueprint and that best practices and replicating that in my own business, I'm far more likely to buy from someone if I can see the testimonials. I don't want to be bombarded with them like some of these companies do, seeing like 500 odd testimonials on a page. I just need to see 3 or 4, and they need to seem like sort of genuinely good, honest people that have had similar struggles to me, and then just go with that. So that's something that's going to get people clicking through on the ad. So thanks very much for your comments, Stuart. Much appreciated. And with that said, I'm going to just leave it there, everybody. Thanks very much for tuning in. And if you do have any questions about Facebook ads that you would like me to answer, please don't hesitate to drop them in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video. Until next time.